January 10th meeting of the Riverside Township Board of Trustees to order. Please rise. And Trustee Carroll, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Roll call. Trustee Carroll.
Present.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Present.
Trustee Clark. Present. Trustee Blau is absent. Clerk Dropka has to be excused for illness, and Supervisor Wilt is present. We have a quorum, so we will proceed. You have before you the minutes of the December 14th Board of Trustees meeting. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for December 14th, 2022.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion by Trustee Heilenbach, seconded by Trustee Carroll, to approve the minutes of the December 14th, 2022 meeting of the Board of Trustees. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. We also have the minutes of the January 3rd Committee of the Whole meeting. What is your pleasure?
I will make a motion to accept the Committee of the Whole minutes of January 3rd.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Trustee Carroll, seconded by Trustee Heilenbach, to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of January 3rd, 2023. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Okay. Communications, I'm sorry, I didn't bring in that folder. I don't think that there was anything of great import in there. I think there might have been some thank yous. Yeah, I think there were some thank yous. Okay, other than that, I don't see anyone from the public here, so I will give you a bit of my supervisor's report. The holiday gift card distribution went fairly well, with only a few people outside our usual clients who we found taking cards and not taking the pre-packed totes of food, so we modified our behaviors a bit, and we had a few people who simply came out because the word had spread. There were a few cases of neighbors obviously spreading the word when in a single day or week we would get new clients with close addresses to each other. We did distribute a total of 60 gift cards over the period of the 2 months, 30 each to Aldi and Riverside Foods. Those were $50 gift cards. The Riverside Foods Fill the Trailer project went extremely well with the trailer filled to the top. It took the custodians about 3 hours to unload and transfer all the food to our 2 storage areas. Riverside Foods plans to repeat the drive in the future. We're extremely grateful to them, as well as to the Village of North Riverside, the North Riverside Library, and several local organizations that didn't always identify the source of larger drops of shelf-stable goods. Additionally, since the beginning of November, we had a total of $830 in monetary donations, for which we are also very grateful. We finally have the main food pantry shelves pretty well stocked, with more items available in our overflow storage room. At first, we could barely move in the main pantry, and it took a while to get it reorganized. The search for a new resident services representative took a lot of my attention since the last meeting. Nina Tagliola, our new staff member, started coming in to learn the ropes the last week in December, taking copious notes and doing a number of activities while training. It was a very slow week, so there was time for learning, but also not as much resident interaction as at other times. She's been doing very well on her own with a little guidance here and there since January 3rd. I was fortunate to have 6 applicants, all of whom came with good credentials, but there was only 1 position available. We had a small party for Marjorie Iniguez's retirement last week, serving lunch and celebrating her 22 years of service to the township, and thank you, Marjorie. I had the opportunity to obtain an additional knee scooter for the nurse's closet for free. It's a very popular item, and the two we had are almost always out on loan. This one came from Hanover Township, which was cleaning house and offered it up to a group email I participate in. All I had to do was go pick it up. The real estate tax money finally started coming in larger increments. I still expect about $50,000 or more from the 2021 taxes. Fortunately, the personal property replacement tax has been greater than budgeted, so that has helped. I'm happy to be putting money back into our money market to earn a little bit more. I've not had to use the tax anticipation warrants, but now the legislature has pushed back the due date for the first installment of 2022 taxes to April 3rd, so much of that expected money will be delayed probably beyond the current fiscal year. I am beginning to make some budget notes for discussion, but I don't have much to discuss yet. I believe it will be wise to tighten our belts where we can, including under grants, because we know we have the bridge project and building improvements will need to follow soon after. I don't have anything more specifically to report, but I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Just to clarify.
Sure.
When we give the holiday food cards, that means then they don't get a bag of food?
They do, no,
Oh,
they do.
They get both?
Yeah,
right?
oh, on the
Okay.
contrary, we had some people, we started changing our practice. Normally, they come to the window, we give them the card, send them in for the bag, give them their next appointment card and the gift card. We had a few people who just made a big U-turn and walked right out without the bags.
Okay.
So then we started saying, you know what, go on in, get your 2 bags, and then we'll give you, then we'll have your appointment card ready and a gift card. That worked with a couple of people. We had one who's pretty much told us where we could put the bags of food, that she didn't want it and she wasn't going to take them. Like, okay. So, there are all kinds of people in the world, and if you're giving away a free gift card, people tend to show up. So, yeah. Other than that, yeah, it all went quite smoothly. Most of the people were our regulars, and a few of them, I'm sure, will become regulars because of circumstances. That is all I have. As for trustees' reports, is there anything, Trustee Carroll, that you would have for us?
Yeah, so we were up practicing the YouTube videos that we will be posting for the C4 initiative.
Okay.
I am the head of the health and well-being prong of that, so I think it will mesh nicely with the mental health board and Tim and the food pantry and the general assistance grants and all the things that we do. And the general push that we're going to make is for community comment on how, are we missing? Is there a hole in what we're offering? Is there something we can do? And as an example, I'm going to use Tim's idea of the crisis intervention training. Sort of, you're not really thinking that that's health and well-being until you figure that it really is health and well-being, both of the officer and of the community member that they're going to be going to. So hopefully we'll get some rigorous feedback and be able to nimbly move as we move into their 2050, which is our goal to be completely, I don't know what's the word, completely perfect in that area. That's the
And
goal.
making
Perfection is
strides
the
in
goal.
perfection,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Okay.
we'll make glorious strides and attempts, and hopefully some real good can come out of this.
Very good.
Our next meeting will be the 19th. It's the community engagement. It's going to be here,
Okay.
up in the auditorium at 7 o'clock. So we're putting it out through the networks. Hopefully people come in and take an interest, volunteer, that kind of thing.
Okay,
So
well,
that's
make
next
sure that
Thursday.
we get that information, we can put it on our website
Okay.
and Facebook as well. Okay, thank you. Trustee Clark?
Yes, I just want to report that in the year 2022, the senior exercise class consistently had over 200 people per month. There was only January and February where they had less, and February was 190, and January was 183.
Very good.
And I also got something from the state township officials of Illinois with a scholarship application that will take over to the high school.
Okay, great. Thank you. And trustee Hollenbach?
I have no report. We have no meeting in December. Our next meeting is next Wednesday at 7 o'clock in this room.
Very good, thank you. Then on towards unfinished business. We wrote up the, or tried to modify the grant application based on our committee of the whole meeting discussion last week. And so there's another copy of it in your books. Please review it. If there's anything that you think needs to be stressed more or needs to be worded differently, please let me know next month, which is when we will be having the next grant considerations. We can have a ordinance to support this. If there's no changes, or if there are, please let me know individually between now and then. I don't have any update on the financing for the swinging bridge repairs because our consultant on that had a death in the family, and we've been hard pressed to schedule something. So it should be soon, though.
Okay.
Welcome. And then we have, that's all I have under unfinished business, unless anybody remembers anything else. For new business, we have a budgetary transfer appropriations resolution here, which deals with the assessor's office budget. And so this is here for our consideration. It moves, let's see, we have maintenance of equipment in the sum of $500, which would be transferred and added to the items under equipment rather than maintenance of equipment. And so that would adjust the appropriations for the maintenance of equipment to, would go down to $4,500, and the equipment item would go to $7,000. So it's just a transfer within the allowable fund line items. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the budgetary transfer appropriation for the equipment transfer.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I will second.
Thank you. I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee Carroll, to approve the budgetary transfer of the appropriations from the assessor's budget of maintenance of equipment to equipment. It's a $500 transfer, meaning that the final line items will be maintenance of equipment at $4,500 and equipment $7,000. This would be a roll call vote. So, trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach?
Yes.
Trustee Clark? Yes. Supervisor Wilt, yes? So that is approved. And I would ask each of you to please sign that for the record. Thank you. Next item we have in our packets, the current budget that runs through March 31st. Please take a look, and you can compare it basically to the financial statement that you have, the general town fund, as well as the general assistance funds statements that you have at the back of your book following the warrants. You can see where we stand within these budget items at this point in time, and then see if there's, you can see where we've been spending. We are now at 9 months, 3/4 of the year of expenditures. So if you see any items like, oh, we've got some extra money there, we probably don't have to budget for quite as much, let me know. I obviously go through all of this with a fine-tooth comb, and we'll start giving you some proposals on this. But with the new year, I just started looking at this. As some of the contract renewals come up, I've been looking at that, seeing, here and there we can tweak a little bit because I know how much we're expected to spend. Do you have any questions or comments on this?
Is there anything we should be concerned about, that you're concerned about, that we should look at?
Well, obviously, we're going to have some bridge costs and building costs in the not-too-distant future. We had some kind of emergency expenditures to patch the roof recently, and so, that's where we're going to need more money, and I think that in many cases, things like grants, we probably could back off a little bit. That is found under town programs. I don't know, we may get requests, but we could probably dial it back a little bit where we still have almost $38,000 in that budget with 3 months left and 1 grant period. There are some other town programs that, come out of this, but those are rather small items. Yeah, there are some areas where, just because we're still recouping from COVID, we haven't been spending, but that's not to say that we don't want to. Things like our senior programs and things like that. So, but we will be looking at these over the next couple of months, so there's time. But please do start thinking in those terms. Okay? Any other questions or comments? Well, then, our next item, we're all ready to the approval of warrants.
Trustee Heilenbach moves that the board authorizes and ratify payment of the bills identified as the general warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $17,114.61 as presented to the board this 10th day of January 2023.
Thank you. I have a motion to accept the general warrant. Do I hear a second?
I will second.
I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, second by trustee Carroll, to approve the general warrants in the amount of $17,114.61. That will require a roll call vote. Is there any discussion or questions before I call for the vote? Hearing none, then trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Heilenbach,
Yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt, yes. That carries the motion. Thank you.
Motion by trustee Heilenbach that the board ratify and authorize payment on the amounts indicated on the following warrants. The utility warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $3,080.92. The payroll warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $27,596.44. The health warrant for 2023 in the amount of $2,977.78. Grants for January 2023 in the amount of $21,974.50. The general assistance warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $3,529.89. Township radio players warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $200, and the food pantry warrant for January 2023 in the amount of $60.50. All of the above are presented to this board the 10th day of January 2023.
Thank you. I have a motion to accept these warrants by trustee Heilenbach. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Carroll. I would just note, because we had a new person doing it, one of the general warrants had our credit card, the general assistance warrant has an item as reimbursement. Accidentally, the new person put it through in one check, so we're paying from one account to the other. Otherwise, everything is pretty pretty standard. So I have a motion and a second to accept the following warrants. The utility warrant in the amount of $3,080.92. The payroll warrant in the amount of $27,596.44. The January health warrant in the amount of $2,977.78. The grants warrant in the amount of $21,974.50. The general assistance warrant in the amount of $3,529.89. The radio players warrant for January in the amount of $200, and the food pantry warrant in the amount of $60.50. Also, a small note, the payroll is so large because we were paying out sick time. And so we have that motion, and I will call the roll for the vote. Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Hollenbach?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt, yes. The motion is carried. Thank you. And that concludes the items on our agenda. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Trustee Carroll will make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. I have a motion to adjourn from Trustee Carroll. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Trustee Heilenbach. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you very much.